Folks, imagine waking up to headlines where America seizes a massive Venezuelan oil tanker at gunpoint, the Fed slashes rates amid tariff chaos, and China and Russia are buzzing our allies' skies like it's a bad Cold War rerun. This isn't some Hollywood script. It's your world, right now, and it's about to hit your wallet and our security harder than you think. Stick with me. We've got 15 minutes to unpack why America's edge is on the line today. All right, let's dive right in. I'm your guide through this global chessboard, and today, December 11th, feels like the board's tilting just a bit against us. We'll hit the big moves: U.S. policy flexes, economic tremors, BRICS maneuvering, Europe's pushback, Middle East fragile ceasefires, Indo-Pacific saber rattling, and those oil and sanction shocks that keep markets jittery. Through it all, I'll keep it real. Why this stuff keeps America strong, or chips away at it if we're not sharp. Starting close to home, U.S. foreign policy. Yesterday, the House rammed through the 2026 National Defense Authorization Act, a whopping $900 billion beast that's basically a middle finger to some of Trump's isolationist vibes. It pumps an extra $8 billion into Europe's defenses, locks in $400 million a year for Ukraine aid, and doubles down on NATO commitments. Lawmakers from both sides say it's about staring down Russia and China without blinking. But here's the rub for you and me. Trump's White House just dropped a national security strategy that's got Europe fuming, calling out their decaying borders and weak leaders on migration. He even hinted at backing populist firebrands over there who echo his tune. Trump talked it up in interviews, saying Europe's immigration mess could make whole countries non-viable. And get this, he hopped on calls with Macron, Starmer, and Scholz yesterday, pushing his Ukraine peace blueprint hard. Zelensky's team says they're close on reconstruction cash from BlackRock and U.S. guarantees, but Europe's insisting on ironclad security pacts first. Why does this hit American pockets? Simple. If we pull back too fast, Russia's emboldened. Think higher energy bills from disrupted flows and a weaker dollar if allies start hedging bets. But if Congress holds the line, it keeps our alliances firing on all cylinders, protecting trade routes that keep inflation in check. Trump's playing hardball, but it's a reminder, America's the glue here, slack off, and the world fractures. On our dime. Shifting to the global economy, it's a mixed bag, but the cracks are showing. The Fed dropped rates another quarter point yesterday, down to 3.75%, their third cut this year. Powell called it a soft landing play amid stalling job growth. Unemployment's ticked up to 4.4%, inflation's flirting with 3%. But the vote was split. Some governors are spooked by Trump's tariffs jacking up costs. Speaking of, that foreign aid review wrapped up. 83% of USAID programs axed, saving billions but gutting soft power in places like Africa. Over in China, they're signaling big fiscal stimulus for 26, higher deficits, more debt to juice growth and dodge our trade punches. Their surplus hit $1 trillion this year, flooding markets with cheap exports. And get this, 92% of the global economy's decoupling emissions from growth. Good for the planet, but it means supply chains are reshifting fast. For Americans, this keeps your iPhone affordable short-term, but long-term, it erodes U.S. manufacturing jobs if we don't counter with smart incentives. Inflation's the thief in your wallet. These moves could add 0.5% if tariffs bite back. Now, BRICS, they're not sleeping on this. Indonesia just joined full-time, making Jakarta the world's biggest city and a BRICS powerhouse. Brazil and China kicked off a joint space lab for deep space tracking. Think satellite eyes on our moves. And the big one, China and Russia confirmed a new payment system and the unit currency, 40% gold-backed basket of BRICS monies, to sidestep the dollar in trade. Over 40 countries are circling, and silver prices exploded 100% this year on their hoarding for AI and solar. Modi's heading to Ethiopia next week to lock in more global South ties. This matters because BRICS is chipping at dollar dominance. 45% of their trades already off the greenback. For you, higher gold means pricier jewelry and hedges, but if it sticks, U.S. borrowing costs spike, juicing mortgage rates. It's a slow bleed on our economic superpower status. We built the system, now they're rewriting the rules. Europe's not taking Trump's jabs lying down. EU Foreign Chief Callas fired back at White House gripes on liberties. Aim that at Russia, where dissent's crushed. They inked a deal on beefing up foreign investment screening to block tech theft from China. And that EU summit next week, it's a marathon on seizing Russia's frozen assets for Ukraine. Costa's vowing no sleep till it's done. Trump's strategy doc has them rattled, calling for resistance to their migration policies. Meanwhile, Denmark's flipping from pariah to model on borders. Even lefties are borrowing their playbook. For us, Yanks, Europe's our front line against Russia. If Trump's wedge drives a transatlantic rift, NATO weakens, think costlier deployments, riskier seas for our ships. But their unity on screening? That's a win, shielding U.S. firms from IP grabs that'd hike your gadget prices. Middle East, ceasefires teetering on Phase 2. Hamas wants U.S. nods on disarmament, but Netanyahu's holding out till December 29th meet with Trump. Qatar and Egypt are pushing for full Israeli pullout and UN peacekeepers. Tragic footnote, an 8-month-old Palestinian girl froze to death in a Khan Yunis tent. Winters exposing how AIDS still choked. Israel's raiding UNRWA offices in Jerusalem, yanking their flag over terror ties claims. Bolivia's renewing full ties after 16 years. Small diplomatic thaw. And Yemen, Saudi pullbacks from Houthi lines, but tensions flare in Hadramaut between their proxies and UAE's. U.S. and allies reaffirmed backing Yemen's UnityGov yesterday. Why care? Stable Mideast means steady oil. Disruptions here add $5 to $10 to your gallon easy. Ceasefire holds great, cracks and refugee waves hit Europe, straining our alliances. Indo-Pacific's heating up, literally and figuratively. US B-52s flew with Japanese F-35s and F-15s over the Sea of Japan yesterday. Direct clapback to China-Russia bomber patrols that locked radars on our allies. China's Liaoning carrier group's been drilling near Okinawa, J-15s painting Japanese jets with fire control beams. Tokyo scrambled hard. We're deploying F-35 carriers to the Westpac now. China slapped a travel warning on Japan over quakes, but it's cover for the flex. And Iran's churning ballistic missiles again, rebuilding sites we hit last year. This is our backyard brawl. Free seas keep iPhones and EVs flowing cheap. China-Russia tag teams erode that. Higher shipping insurance alone tax onto inflation. But US-Japan drills? That's projecting power, deterring a Taiwan grab that'd tank markets 20%. Tying it with markets. Oil jumped 0.4% to $62 Brent after our Venezuelan tanker grab, first since 19 sanctions. Trump's military boarded it helicopter style. Caracas calls it piracy. Venezuela's slashing crude discounts to Asia double, $14 under Brent, flooded by Russian, Iranian shadow oil. U.S. hit Rosneft and Lukoil with fresh sanctions, urging Moscow to ceasefire. Ukraine talks are inching. 28-point plan favors Russia, but Zelensky's prepping counters. Currency-wise, dollar's steady but BRICS unit looms. Trade tensions? Trump's Latin escalations got Congress twitchy. Bottom line, these sanction plays squeeze rogue revenues. Good for U.S. leverage, but spikes gas if supplies tighten. Your 401k feels every barrel. Wrapping this briefing, we've covered a lot ground today. From tanker takedowns to bomber buzzes, fiscal feints to fragile pieces. It's a reminder that America's not just playing defense. We're the ones who set the tempo. But in this multipolar mess, complacency costs. Higher bills, weaker borders, dimmer futures for our kids. Stay vigilant. Support the alliances that amplify us, and remember, knowledge like this, it's your quiet weapon. If this hit home, smash like, subscribe for the next drop. What's your take on the tanker grab? Drop it below, God bless, and keep America first.